Hello, hello, hello. This is Alchemizing Energy, and we are back at it again. Today we have our special guest. Uh, this is another episode of Policing the Police with Richard Taylor and DJ Genesis. And then later we're going to have another special guest as we discuss some of the things that are happening in the community as it involves the police. Last time we were discussing the Roy Hinton case. I'm not sure. We're gonna get like some updates on that, and some other cases that are going on in the community when it comes down to like this policing issue that is happening in the United States. Because as time is going on, there's a lot of really crazy things happening. I mean, we're having like situations with ICE. They're becoming a new police force now, and they're beginning to target black people. There was a whole situation where in Brooklyn, I think Brooklyn, where they all had to come together and all type of stuff. And I mean, because the ICE was trying to come there and become like this Gestapo like military force and like really enforcing themselves onto people. So I really want to like really get into like what is the state of the police at the current juncture in America. So without further ado, I want to bring on my special guest. Hello, how are you doing, Richard Taylor? Uh-oh, you're on mute.
All right, yeah, let me unmute. How you doing, DJ Genesis? How you?
I am great. I'm great. Well, I wish I could be better, but I mean, like I said, the current situation as it's like looking with the policing in America is looking really like it's getting more intense. They've seen the added an additional police force with this ICE situation, right? And these
Yeah,
ICE agents seem to have like just carte blanche to do anything that they want. And so you have a combination of just the regular police that are in increasing uh their situation, and then you have the ICE situation. Can you give us like some like ideas of like some of the things that are going on in the community when it's coming down into the like when it comes down to like policing?
yeah. Well, there have been several cases. Within the past month, actually, there was I think three cases of police shootings in Baltimore within a week, and that was about 2 weeks ago. They have uh, it was some situations out there in Omaha, a couple of police killings, about police killings in Omaha. And then we had like about three police killings in St. Louis I've covered. And then the various situations all across the nation. There's just been so many. So, um, it's, with you mentioned the ICE situation, which, a lot of people have their eyes on that as well. A lot of people feel like that we may be next after they after they deport everybody. But one thing, I have to focus on, what is going on, in my backyard before I can focus on, the ICE situation. Once again, that's not to belittle anybody's situation with being deported or, unlawfully detained, whatever the situations, whether they're Latino, whether they're African, whether they're Haitian, whatever the case may be. But, we've had this situation ongoing in our community since the invention of the police, which were the slave patrol. So, but now that it's ramping up, it's hard to kind of, okay, well, we're going to lay the police brutality down that we're facing in Baltimore and St. Louis and Nebraska and all these various other places. Then, okay, we're just going to, focus on, what people are dealing with ICE, which once again is not to belittle that, but, I can only fight for what is affecting me right now. And then if ICE comes to start shooting and killing black people like the police are doing, then they would be my number one public enemy, number one in my regard as well.
Yeah, so there was a whole, I'm not sure if you were aware. Were you aware of the situation in Brooklyn where the ICE agents tried to like come into that area, and they had a huge march that I mean they kind of like just started mobilizing. and it was like thousands of people in the street. I mean, just like raising hell. Were you aware of that?
Nah, see, like I said, I've been once again focusing on what is going on in our communities. Once again, somebody have shown me there's a video circulating about a bunch of I think people are saying there was a bunch of Haitians
Yeah.
uh fighting the police, and that kind of got my attention, or fighting ICE or whoever they were. That kind of got my attention. But once again, everybody, I've seen the different protests. I think there was in LA where there's a large immigrant population or whatever, and people are galvanizing around that situation, from all aspects of life. So but now I haven't. What happened in that situation in New York?
No, I'm about to play a video of it real quick like this because I was
Okay.
it's I was like, wow, when I saw it. So let me just play a little bit of it. Shouts out to O'Shea Duke Jackson and his channel. We're gonna be using this. Let's go into it.
Effects connected to recent federal immigration actions.
People scared, right?
The manager at Green Village Market says 2 employees recently quit out of fear, and some shop owners say they're seeing less business.
People is afraid with what's going on, and you can't blame them.
Back in March, ICE was raiding Little Haiti. Okay, now remember, most of these people have temporary protected status. Okay, and what that means is for 18 months, they can legally be in America with the work permit. So some people may not have that. And so ICE is going into Little Haiti and raiding people. And so some people are afraid to even go to work, even if they are illegal. So this is kind of what kicked it off last March. ICE started targeting this neighborhood.
They canceled their free English classes that have been well attended for years.
Most people are not coming in because of the impact with what's going on with the immigration status and stuff. And we are really concerned about that.
Many of the Haitian attendees have legal temporary protected status, also called TPS. Last month, the Trump administration moved to end the TPS program for Haitians this August.
The irony of it is that the vast majority of the most recent members of the Haitian community who have joined us in America came because of fear of a lack of security in Haiti.
Stephanie D'Elia with nonprofit Little Haiti BK says Haitian organizations have formed a coalition providing Know Your Rights information sessions and are working to dispel myths.
They should still be going to school. They should still be going to the hospitals if they're ill.
Okay.
Haitians beat up ICE. You can see right here.
Individuals. Now this person goes, it's self-defense. Now this person says the United States has been destabilizing Haiti for decades, assassinating presidents.
But what's better? Being homeless and jobless and possibly not being able to take care of your family?
On the actual video,
or being picked up and taken to a concentration camp, a detention center.
So here's the reason why I feel like this is important as I'm looking for this video where it shows them like marching. Oh, here it is. I think this is the one. Let me see. I'm trying to find the actual video of them getting together. Oh, here we go. This is the one right here.
Hey, me here said this morning a Haitians go make.
So this is them in Brooklyn. Can you see this?
Yeah, I can see it.
So this is what happened when ICE went to Brooklyn. Now, I don't know why they're playing music and stuff like that, but I mean, like,
yeah,
I guess they're gonna have a soundtrack when they whooping people's ass. But bottom line, they gotta have a soundtrack to it. But I'm like, wow, you know what I'm saying? That is a one hell of a mobilization. Normally, it takes like a website. People like know it's happening. These people came together quick, boom, like no, heck no. And I think they were trying to like capture a few people, and people just immediately just started to come out, and it became a whole thing. And yeah, and so let me this is why I find so this is where Trump is going to be putting people at, and it's called Alligator Alcatraz. I'm not sure if are you aware of that, Alligator Alcatraz?
No, like I said, once again, it's sort of like like I said, like if my children, are being, attacked, by bullies, then I have to, I can't worry about other people being attacked by bullies when, my people are being attacked. But now,
The only
answer your
thing I
question,
find
now,
frightening
I have,
about this is that how you know me from a Haitian, how you know you from a Haitian.
well, I mean, I know a little, hey, I mean, I don't know because I study like history, like I can tell, but they just have a different type of demeanor, and then of course they spent the talk. So, what do you mean, like, so what are you saying, like they can just round up all black people and say they're Haitians? Because
They could just
I
round
have an
people up
ID that
and
says
ask
I'm.
questions later.
Yeah, but that's. I mean, I don't know how that works. You know what I'm saying?
So what they did, like in one recent situation, they rounded up 300 people. Only 30 of them were immigrants.
Okay, so what did they do with the other 270?
They detained them until they were able to show who they were.
Oh,
So
okay.
if you don't have your birth certificate, your social security card, because just having an ID, I don't know if that's enough at this point anymore. I don't know.
Yeah, but like I said, I'm
frightening. It's like, well,
yeah, I mean, like I guess they targeting places where people be, because once again, I'm not in New York, I'm not in Little, like I said, in those places they have places like Little Haiti, right? So if you're staying in Little Haiti, I guess that's where they would go. But because I'm not, I'm in, and they did like some mini ice roads right here where I'm in North Carolina, where there's a certain part of the community or the certain part of the town, certain part of the county, certain places where a large influx of Latinos work. So they would go there and see, okay, who is illegal and who is not. So like I said,
I'm not over here. I am not studying for like Latinos or Haitians or none of that. I'm just worried about. I don't want to be at Walmart one day and stuff, and they rush up in there and I'm light skinned, and they like, well, you look like you might be. Come on.
Well, see, that's the fear, though. You know what I'm saying? That's the fear mongering. I don't deal with the fear
I'm
mongering.
from Ohio. I'm FBA all the way, honey. My family goes all the way back to South Carolina. I can go back to Virginia, all that stuff. But I'm not trying. My little daughter, she got a little curly hair. I don't want her to get scooped up. They think she's Puerto Rican, even though we 100% black. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not trying to get scooped up because they going after people. That's the thing I'm afraid of.
Yeah.
So this is this thing called alligator Alcatraz that they're putting these people in that has a swamp with alligators and boa constrictors, all kind of wild snakes and stuff. This look like a damn concentration camp to me. I'm sorry. This stuff is getting kind of wild out. It's getting kind of hectic, So, and once we get through with this, we're gonna get into the community and what is really happening, because we went from, I was just talking about like the ice situation, Queen, and how this ICE situation is getting intense. You have this alligator Alcatraz. So the policing in America is starting to get more intense as time goes on. They're using ICE to kind of enforce a certain level of like they're becoming a different kind of a police force, because they can use a different kind of force without necessarily under the same kind of rules. And I'm not sure. It seems like Trump is like giving them carte blanche to kind of like just do whatever the hell they want to do. And now you have police getting even more aggressive with that as well. They're getting more aggressive, and then people are starting to fight back. So I wanted to like, and this is what Richard's like telling us about the latest situations where people are like kind of jacking up, like, they're not playing that. People are starting to get back with the police on that. Like, no, you pull me over, you might have a problem. So let's get into this alligator Alcatraz real quick. This has been pouring. The actual
he's probably not going to bite on that, but I don't know that they'd be able to come in at cost, because they tried to do this high-speed rail. They spent like $150 billion, no tracks. We've got a privately funded rail in Florida from Miami to Orlando. It costs the taxpayer $0, and it's very successful. So it's just a much different approach between states.
So I don't know what they're going to be able to like this. This guy's
That's right. They were standing there. What are they doing? They said, go in.
It looks like they're getting some rich people to come together. They got a railway system that's going to be carting people into this place. Looks like a concentration camp to me. Okay, so I just think it should be important that even though we are not necessarily directly affected by this, as as Black Americans, as white Americans, etc., we should keep an eye on this and see and make sure that some of this thing is just not bleeding over into the American community, because this is looking wild right here. This don't even look like, I don't know what this is. That's crazy looking to me. So
Yeah. So
that
yeah,
looks like a concentration camp. Okay. All
yeah,
right.
that's
It looks
I
crazy.
want. Can I interrupt for a second? How you doing?
yeah.
Nice
How
to
you
meet you.
doing?
I'm clean. I know y'all were already talking, so I'm trying to wait to kind
Go
of.
ahead. Join on in. What?
How's everything going with you? Nice meeting you. Hey, everybody out there in the chat. Thank you, and welcome to all on the stage, hosts, and all of that. I see we talking about Alcatraz. I really didn't have any want to say anything about that, because for me, that's not where my focus is at. I understand what's going on with the immigrants, but for me, it's almost like I told some of my white counterparts, if we're friends, then you're going to have to understand. Sometimes I got to draw the line with friends and keep it directly real. And for me, when I look at Alcatraz, when I look at immigrants, honestly, if you're here illegally, I don't have anything to say on the other side. My focus right now is, what do we need to do to build in the United States? My focus right now is paying attention to Carmelo Anthony as a young Black kid that's sitting in the same space that Trayvon Martin sat in at one point or another. My focus right now is on Anton Massey, because he's a Black man, whether he's guilty or innocent. He is opening the eyes of a lot of people to let us know that there is something wrong with the jail and the prison systems or in New Orleans, and there's something wrong in Alabama, and that's where I'm coming in at. As far as the immigrants are concerned, my heart go out to you. But for me right now, I can only worry about the base that's going to keep our community going, running, and having longevity, and also bringing generational wealth back. If it takes for us to move illegal immigrants in order for us to condition and reposition, is what I'm here for. So I can't make friends. I can't have a soft heart, especially starting with someone or entities that are wrong. It's wrong what we're going through in the United States right now. It's wrong that Black people are one of the lowest immigrants and foreigners in our own country. So if it takes for us to put the immigrants in Alcatraz, to send them back where they belong at and come back over here the right way, then I'm here for that. But I can't be here to support because they're in Alcatraz. Then I'll be going against the grain of what we're working for. We've been down up under immigrants for how long? At what point do we take our stands in the United States as legal citizens who were born here, who formed this nation, who formed this country, and probably 99% of the land belonged to us? And if you're here as an illegal immigrant, then you have to go, because I got videos where I can even show you where you have them over in other countries like right now upset with Americans for being in their country. They're saying that we're disturbing the peace over there. So you don't disturb our peace. So I understand the video, but that's my take on that part of it.
Well, let me just say this real quick. Let me reiterate my point. Okay. First of all, we're not going to hold on now. I get it, that you passionate, but let me just go ahead and speak my piece, okay? Because I look all the immigrants. Hold on. I get it. Fuck immigrants. Okay. I'll say that out loud and proud. Fuck a Mexican, fuck a Haitian, fuck a Dominican, fuck all that shit. I don't give a fuck. But what I will say also is that if they're gonna put a goddamn camp together for them, we need to keep an eye on this shit, because they was able to put this shit together real quick and it can turn around on this in a heartbeat. Don't be stupid. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. Don't be just so goddamn hell bent on fuck immigrants that you're not seeing that they're able to throw together a goddamn prison that looks like a fucking Holocaust in a concentration camp in 5 minutes that got alligators around it, and these rich ass white people are sitting up here walking around like they're so proud. He's about, yeah, I can bust people in. We got our own railway that can just bust thousands of people in right from Orlando, Florida, and without no thing. And you don't think they could? Ain't somebody, probably American, gonna probably be filtered in that's not a fucking immigrant, be stuck in that shit?
Why we cursing so much?
Though? No, because I have been talking about this for the past 3 days. Everybody is saying this on this and it's irritating the shit out of me because I'm like, y'all ain't looking at y'all are so stuck on the immigrant part of it, and I'm like, this shit could turn on us at any second, and it's scaring the shit out. I'm like, I'm afraid.
Not scared though. I'm not scared of that. Well, I'm scared that is where the future of our nation.
Listen, y'all need to pay attention to that. It's not about being afraid of it.
What's wrong here?
Don't just be like, oh, that's just on them. That's just them that's going to go through this. This stuff can easily turn on us. Pay attention to it. Don't just say, oh, they only going against. Listen. It's not just about they only doing this to immigrants. This is a testing ground. They're doing it to them first, and just to see how they're able to put things together right quick. Pay attention. Don't be just so stuck on it's only going on with them that we're not watching how it could affect us and turn around on us to be able to throw a prison together this quick.
I understand what you're saying too.
I'm sorry, Richard. I know that you got your audience here. I'm sorry for cursing, but I just
you're right. But I understand what you're saying, but I think like people, like wait a minute. I think where people like myself understand, like, okay, so what if they put a concentration camp for us? Like, they've already put us in slavery. What can be worse than slavery? What can be worse than being shot down in the streets? You know what I'm saying? So I'm not fearing that because they're already shooting us down in the streets. If they'll put a concentration camp to put us together, I guess that would be better. Of course, I wouldn't go willingly, but they're already shooting us dead in the streets. They've already crippled us economically.
Thank you.
Socially. Well, that's why I was showing how they was able to mobilize real quick and able to say bump that. I'm not gonna go that quick easily.
Yeah, but like I said, and some people, like I said, some people say like I had my brother, he called me the other day with the same viewpoint. Well, yeah, man, we're gonna be next. But then the brother called me and said, look, man, they ain't gonna deport us. Who else they gonna kill? You know what I'm saying? Who else, they can't do to us what they're doing to them, because once again, we do have a legal right to stand on, being that, we are here, whether it was.
You talking about
it's not about deportation. It's about the 13th Amendment. Once you are put into a certain situation like this, then they can make you into, like I said, there's a 13th Amendment, there's a 13th or 14th, that you lose all of your rights to certain freedoms when they're able to do.
But we already have mass incarceration of Black people already.
We off the subject. I mean, at the end of the day,
No, I'm not cursing because I'm losing the argument. I've been talking about this for the past 3 days, and everybody just seems to just not give a shit about it. That's why I'm cursing.
Well, I don't think it's people don't give a shit about it. I think what it is, we're really honestly at this point trying to focus in on what's going to build our Black communities and put our boots on the ground and see what we can do to surround some of the issues, especially that we got certain help where we can do that and shift this economy back where it need to be so that we can get the wealth that we deserve. I mean, if we keep focusing on the feelings of an immigrant, or we keep focusing,
I'm not talking about that's why I'm getting. That is why I'm getting irritated. Is because you guys don't listen. Everybody, when I bring this up, you guys keep trying to tell me I'm only focusing on the immigrants. I'm focusing on how quick they was able to throw this thing together. He's only been in the office since January. He threw this stuff together quick as heck with a whole.
Is that more important? Is that more important right now? So basically, we got to put our time back into immigrants right now and have a discussion on how immigrants are living. And
what about the immigrants? That's the part that's irritating. That's why I get irritated, because I told you I'm not talking about the immigrants. How many times I say this? He was able to throw a prison together in 5 minutes, bro.
So what can we do about that right now, though?
Pay attention to what's going on.
But everybody's paid. I mean, how much more pay attention can we do? Where you review
it's only for the immigrants. That's the part that I keep trying to drive home. You think it's only for the immigrants? He could throw this together in state by state real quick. More places to put more people, and then change the laws, make more people. Okay, all right. I'm gonna be quiet. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm a little passionate about this because I've just been talking about this for 3 days. You can tell my voice is gone because I've been kind of trying to drive this thing home, and I'm just saying, you're right. You're right. We do have to mobilize and things like that, and that's the point. That's why I showed the images of the Haitians coming together quick like that. There's a point that I was trying to. I'm not sure you weren't here when I actually showed that, like how when they came into that community, they was able to come together, lickety split. and we've done the same thing in Atlanta with the KKK when they came out there. In Cincinnati, we were able to do that. I just want to make sure that we are starting to get together as a community to where if this government is going to be Gestapo and start arresting people and detaining people and doing this kind of thing, we need to definitely have a unified situation. I'm not focused on immigrants. I have the same. I think we have the same idea. I'm just showing that we need to keep an eye on this situation and not think it's only about immigrants, because when they get rid of all the immigrants and they got all them locked up in camps and stuff like that, then what's next?
I'm a legal citizen of this United States, so if they lock me up, they have to have legal cause.
Do
So
they?
if they have to put the illegal immigrants in a certain place in order for them to be deported back to where they should be at, in order for this economy to shift, I say shift them on back. Because they'll shift me out of their country. They don't want to see this 6'2" queen walking their country like that.
Yes, they do need to go back to their country. Yes, they should all go back to their country. They should not be here illegally, but they're not only arresting illegal immigrants, they have ended birthright citizen with
That's
the
illegal. That's the illegal.
No, a birthright citizen is a person that was actually born here, has their documentation and everything.
What the birthright is, what he's referring to. You talking about birthrights on a different level. He's talking about birthright from an illegal immigrant. If you come over here illegally and you produce a child, your child do not automatically become a United States citizen. When you go to any other country, you do not automatically become a citizen of their country, and you are of US of A. So why do you get to come to of US of A and be legal and you of another country? You can't.
So what I'm saying is that at one point there were laws that allowed that, and with the struggle of pin, that law got changed.
There was never laws to allow illegal immigrants. If you're illegal, you're illegal. There was no law. If you're illegal, you're illegal.
Birthright citizenship, ma'am. And so
illegal.
What I'm trying to tell you is that
that's for legal.
They came over here illegally. Yes, they were children that was
legal.
Okay, so illegal. Okay, so basically those people were born here, etc. They were illegal, but not all of them were illegal. Some of them had their green cards.
Right.
So do you think that only birthright citizens were only from a legal immigrant? Some people were actually born here from legal immigrants that were actually.
If you were born here from legal immigrants, we're not talking about anybody legal.
I mean, that's a birthright citizen. That's what that is, ma'am.
No, that's not what Trump is talking about. He's talking about the kids that are born from illegal citizens. Look it up and put it on the screen so we can all see it. It's about illegal immigrants that produce children. It's for illegal immigrants that have children. When you go over to Dominican Republic, when you go over there and you're a Haitian and you on the same island, the Haitians do not become legal children of Dominican. They have their Haitian race, and you're still a Haitian whether you're born on that side of the island or not. And it got to be the same thing for the United States. I don't understand, why do we argue about black people don't got this, black people not growing, we steal this, we steal that, and then we see an outlet so that we can move things back over to start claiming the money and stuff that we deserve. If it start by getting rid of illegal citizens, I'm here for it.
Okay. We're gonna get back on track after this, you guys. I just want to make this plain because me and her have been going through this for the past few days. So let me just make this plain. Okay. Birthright citizenship definition and importance. In the United States, birthright citizenship is a legal right of anyone, not just illegal, but anyone born in a country to be a citizen. The right is primarily based on the 14th Amendment of the United Constitution, which states that those born or naturalized in the United States and subject to its jurisdiction are citizens. Okay. So if this person is now a citizen, what he just did was with the stroke of a pen, right? So this person is born in, all it knows is the United States. All this baby knows that when it was born is the United States. With a stroke of a pen, with just a bill, he was able to reverse that. Okay. So all the things, all of our rights that we think that we have, with the stroke of a pen, with a bill, can be reversed. So all this thing that we think that we have or whatever, all these rights we think that we might have or whatever, even though we really ain't got no real rights, can be reversed just like that. So I'm not talking about illegal immigrants. I know you're focused on illegal immigrants. I'm talking about the ability to basically go in and change laws just like that.
That's a whole nother, if you're talking about something like that, that's a whole nother topic.
That's what that is what I have been talking about the whole time, ma'am.
I mean, when I heard double
You're
things.
focused on immigrants. I'm focused on laws. I'm focusing on how he's able to throw jails together. I'm focusing on how he is able to make changes quick like that and how it's going to affect us. But you're stuck on immigration. I'm not stuck on that.
Right.
And as much as I say that I'm not stuck on immigration, you keep bringing it back to immigration. I'm talking about laws. I'm talking about how quick he could change the law and how it can affect us in the future. That's what I'm talking about. And so, and I know, I'm sorry. I mean, but hell, people are, it's get, y'all, whatever. The audience is like, everybody gonna have different. That's all I'm saying. We've been having this conversation, this argument for a couple of days. That's why I'm kind of like,
I don't argue. I just make my point and keep it moving. It's called truth for me. The truth is, if you're an illegal immigrant, you're illegal. If you don't have to keep prison of Alcatraz, I get that. We've already said that. I'm here for Alcatraz. If you're going to Alcatraz because you're illegal, is my only point. I know you're bringing up the jail, but if he's putting illegal immigrants there, there's nothing I can refute about that. So I'll tap out the conversation because I'm not trying to offend you on your panel.
No, you don't have to. No, it's okay.
I'm not here for that.
I speak with passion. You know what I'm saying? And all this is just me, that's all. I'm not mad. I'm just
nothing wrong with speaking with passion. My only concern is when you speak with passion and someone else give their passion and opinion as well. I mean, striking them down don't come off easy to a person like me. I feel like everybody need to learn how to say their opinion, stake it, and not have hard feelings after that, because it's not about that. And how can we mend any fences in our community if we can't even talk about it right here because somebody got their feelings on their shoulders? I don't wear my feelings like that. Maybe that's why
it's hard to have a conversation when I keep telling you I'm not speaking about one thing and you keep bringing up the exact same thing I'm not speaking about.
Well, I was only speaking my opinion because you're talking about a prison. In the prison that you're talking about, you referred to him holding illegal immigrants. So I commented and gave my opinion on that part.
Yeah, but you continue to, as much as I tell you that it was not about the immigration part of it, it was about the fact that he was able to throw the prison together within a matter of months.
I get that. He put a lot of stuff together within a matter of days, and it don't bother us.
Listen, let me finish my statement because I said this several times, and as much as people are not listening,
focus on me. Go move. Focus on me.
Listen. What I'm saying is that as much as I keep trying to say that this is, and I'm not trying to fearmonger, I'm trying to say keep an eye on this. I'm trying to show, hey, listen, look at how people are mobilizing. That are of other countries, you know what I'm saying? They're mobilizing. I'm giving examples. I'm showing. Okay, now maybe and I get it. And thank you, Richard, for your poise and your demeanor. And I'm glad, but I just wanted to just make that statement. I was not really trying to focus on immigrants. And can you understand? Maybe we need Richard to like kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Like I said, I'm like even before she got on, like I was trying to tell you. Well, like I mentioned, and I get what you're saying about what he's able to do, but people are not going to separate that what he's doing from who he's doing it to. If that makes sense. So when you're talking about that situation, the focus is on the immigrants, not what he's doing, because it's hard for me to separate the two. You may be able to separate the two, but that's what he's doing to them. Not what he's doing, but he's doing that specifically to a group of people. So it's hard for me to separate that. I can look and say, well, the police are doing this over here to me. You know what I'm saying? To me. So what's more important, what he's doing over there to them or what he's doing over here to me? You know what I'm saying? So I think, my sister, her point of view is, we not, and like I told you at the beginning, not to belittle what they're going through.
Right.
But, I can't fight a battle over here when somebody's trying to burn my house down over here. Like I'll deal with that after I put the fire out of my own house, instead of, then this could be, like you said, this could be for us too, but I might not even get to that point of being put in a Alcatraz prison if I don't stop the police from killing me over here. You understand what I'm saying? So it's a touchy subject because, we as Black people, we do have like the heart for everybody. Everybody who comes up with an issue, we're gonna lay down our fight. We're gonna put down our water hoses, trying to put down our own fight, and jump over here and try to help them. Like that's just who we are as a people. I know sometimes that's even who I am. Like I could be working on something for myself. Somebody called me with a problem. I'm with you. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes that could be to the detriment of my own self. So there's a delicate balance when we look at things in totality, as in, what they're doing on all fronts. Like she and the point she made, well, he's done a lot of things within a lot of months. He's stroking, he puts out new bills every day that, the big beautiful bill or whatever that is. And, all these things are being done overnight. And so I think sometimes it is the fear mongering tactic, or it is a tactic of the media to focus on one particular issue, that when there's 100 other things that is just as bad that he's done within the same amount of time that, is not getting the attention. So, and that's why, like I told you before, I don't even pay attention to none of that political stuff, because, it's they're giving me 1/4 of the story, and 90% of that is not true as well. So, we don't, until I actually see Alcatraz prisons being built by the projects, then that's when I'm okay, now.
By then it'll be too late, honey. By then it'll be too late. But and just wait and pay attention to it. Then just don't even worry about it. But I'm paying attention to it, because I'm like, when I start seeing clues, honey, I might have to go ahead and go to another place. I don't know. I'm saving up. I don't know, because I'm like, wait a minute, what's this over here? How quick was they able to throw that together and have alligators and snakes around it? Where if you try to escape. Shit, I'm not trying to. Hell no. So anyway, let me be quiet. But just wait. It ain't. You don't worry about it. Just wait. I'm being sarcastic. Okay, let's change this. Let's get back on what's happening with the police, because this is what this conversation was about. Is police brutality. Now, ICE is another version of the police that is brutalizing people, but the actual police are being. But what I am seeing more than ever is, as we were talking about earlier, is that you're starting to see more people begin to not allow the police to actually get away with just arresting them right quick. Well, you said that there was a few people that kind of have could you tell us about some of the cases where people have been fighting back with the police?
I think she's talking about you, Queen.
No, it was you. You were telling me about the cases. I mean, I know we have the Roy Hinton situation.
Oh well, that one.
I'm excluded out of it. She don't really include me. I just joined the conversation. So I thought we was here about Anton.
I thought that's what y'all was going to talk about.
That's what I thought too. That's why I'm not confused. Well, I'm confused. Go ahead. I'm listening to.
No, we're gonna get around to Anton Massey, but
right.
But I'm gonna. Okay, the title is False Imprisonment. Latest case in how do we fight it?
I didn't know. I know when we scheduled this, that's what so I apologize to the
We're gonna get into Anton Massey, because Anton Massey is false imprisonment. So I'm leading into it. I was leading into it. So
that's fine.
But one of the cases and most people don't know about, which I didn't know about until earlier this year. Brother kept telling me about it, but it actually happened in 2021, and that's the case of Othel Wallace. Othel Wallace was a community activist down there in Daytona Beach, Florida. He was approached by this officer with a history of violence, and he was sitting in front of his house and he was chilling, and the officer came out, tried to detain him, and within 30 seconds, he tried to treat Othel like he did other people, and Othel, saw him reaching for his waistband, and he reached for his firearm first, his legal firearm, and shot and killed the officer. The officer is Jason Rayner, and it took about 2 years for them to convict him of manslaughter, and they were supposed to give him just only 10 years, but the judge added the aggravated manslaughter with the firearm, which gave him about 30 years. So and that happened in October of 2023. And since then, people have been fighting, trying to get his case in the media, in which I've started to do because I think it's very relevant of when can you defend yourself against unlawful detainment.
There
And
you
so that is something. And actually there was a House bill that had a whole debate on the Florida Senate floor where they were trying to say when you get into it with a police officer, whether that police officer is wrong or right, if you defend yourself or you take their life, it's automatically life in jail. And, the black people fought against that. And, there was a big discussion on it. And that bill has failed twice. And so, but that case is very intriguing to me because it brings back a broader issue when police are doing everything, even when courts are doing everything. And I definitely want to hear more about Antoine Massey because I haven't really followed that case. But even with that, there's legal things that they do to just manipulate the system, and brothers are doing a lot of time with that. But there's also legal things to do to manipulate encounters with police. When police take the lives of black people, they know how to manipulate the laws and the language and to say, they fear for their life. But on the flip side, when my brother Othu feared for his life and exercised his right to be able to go home to his family, as they always mentioned, then, the law doesn't work on his behalf. So, but yeah, there's a few cases where, people are, beginning to stand up against that. And, I haven't really seen anyone actually get off scot-free yet, except for police. So, so the Antoine Massey case, has actually hits home to me because, he mentioned that he was falsely accused of SA or taking something that didn't belong to him from a woman, if y'all know what I mean. And, he had document saying that the lady, said, well, no, she lied, but they still wanted to prosecute him. And I actually went through that myself. And actually, shameless plug, but, if you haven't gotten the book Wrongfully Accused, Rightfully Acquitted, that is my story of being falsely accused of doing something and having to go to court. The trial, they actually knew I was in it, but yet they still had a week-long trial hoping to convict me because that's their job to get a conviction. So, what I guess have you heard about the Massey case?
The first thing that I want to tell you is I definitely understand what you're doing, and I truly appreciate your advocacy, and I hope that you and I can collaborate, a little bit more, because for me it goes in a little bit deeper, just like it did for you. I've been an advocate for a while, and when I heard about you and that you went through something as being falsely accused, I want you to know I even rocked from that side of it, because last year I was literally falsely accused myself, and I got arrested. I got thrown on house arrest and didn't even know why I was on house arrest. And unfortunately, this time it was a Mexican judge, but this came down for me from a black young girl, 20-something years old, and I'm 50. So when I tell you that hurt me a lot, and it changed me, and it also made me look at things a lot differently, that it ain't always about race, because a lot of times it's our own people that do it to us. So we have to accept that as well and move in that. So a lot of times it's not always about racism. Racism exists more than just color. Because there's racism amongst black ourselves. There's racism amongst whites, because you got the different lower levels and higher levels on each grade. So we have to understand that as well. But when it comes to the Antoine Massey, I got a clip of his video where he first started telling his story. So I want to put it in the back and we can watch. It's only a couple of minutes long, and we can interrupt it as well. And you will see exactly what happened to this young man. And my eyes focused on him because whether people think he was innocent or not is something he's trying to tell us about the prison system over there. And he don't have to tell us. I mean, we can look at the nation and see, look at the stats. It's horrible. There's something connecting for a lot of our black men, minorities, to be in the prison systems, in the jail systems over there. So I want to just bring this clip up. And if DJ can show the clip, and we can go from there. But I just put it in the back.
DJ, where you at, DJ Genesis? Shout out to DJ Genesis too.
Hey, listen, people got it twisted. Like, I'm the one who put the show together, bro. I put this together. I'm not against nobody. Listen, sometimes you gotta be the villain to get people's emotions and stuff going. I'm told to be the villain and get things more hyped up, and then when I become the villain, everybody's like, "Oh my god!" So that's why I'm asking. I can't get that. You have to either email, text that to me, or no, send it to me on IG.
Oh, it's not in the back chat where you can pull it up?
No, it won't let me add it to the stage.
Oh, okay. So you okay.
But in the meantime, I'll just play this for right now until I can show you that. People don't be mad at me, y'all. I put the show together. I know. Listen. I love our black men. I love my black people. Come on now. Hold on. Let me try to. Let me see it. Let me see. Is this the right? Hold on. I'm trying to show the. Okay, the audio's not going. Here we go. 14 summer, man. Yeah, I ain't swum since 2003. So I guess that's him. That's not the right video. How do we find?
I pasted it to the in the private chat. You should be able to pull it from back there.
Okay. All right.
But while she's pulling that up, because that's only the part where it shows him being arrested. Oh, go ahead. She got it.
GC. What I want to talk about today is for as why I was in Orleans Parish Jail. I was in custody for almost 8 months.
Hey, right. Jennifer, you'll take the comment down.
Yeah.
For theft of a motor vehicle and domestic abuse involving strangulation. That's what I was in Orleans Parish for.
Thank you.
Okay. But before I was in Orleans Parish, I was in a jail called St. Tammany Detention Center. All right. St. Tammany Jail here in St. Tammany Parish. There's 2 different parishes, Orleans and St. Tammany. Okay. Today, what I want to talk about is that I was on 2nd-degree kidnapping, 2nd-degree rape, domestic abuse, battery involving strangulation, domestic abuse, battery, violation of protective order, right? On this woman right here, her name is Diamond White. That's her name. This is a district attorney drop form right here. And she's not a child. She's an adult, a full adult. I was dating this woman. This is a legalized affidavit saying all allegations against me is false. All allegations against me is false. I was nowhere around her or none of that during the timing of the date, which was November the 10th of 2024. Okay, so I was in St. Tammany, right, and I was on a regular domestic charge, right. So they put a parole hold on me because I was on a domestic charge. So that being said, is that once that occurred, and the charges was refused or whatever, they shipped me to Orleans Parish where I had more open charges. It was the theft of a motor vehicle and the domestic abuse, battery, involving strangulation. So once I got in Orleans Parish Jail, all right, I have from the district attorney's office, this woman who they say that I initially raped in another parish and in Orleans Parish, the same woman here. It's not different females, it's the same grown woman, not a child, a grown woman. Okay, she did the same thing in Orleans Parish, right? Correct. I'm about to show you how the system is corrupted. Okay, she did this, right? Saying all allegations against me is false. And she even saying it, she let her know the truth that I never did this to her. I never hit her. I was nowhere around her. Nothing. She got mad and thought that I was dealing with another woman. That's why she did what she did to me. You know what I'm saying? Another thing too, once I got into Orleans Parish, I was there for like a month or something like that. Okay, a lot went on as that time progressed. Okay, if you was an innocent person and you know the judges and DA know that this person is saying that all the charges that you're on that you did not do, why was you still in jail? Louisiana have the highest incarceration rate in the world for putting black people away. Yes, at the end of the day, in my younger life, I'm not gonna lie, I was causing problems. I was young. My daddy got killed when I was 7 years old. My mom had to raise 4 children by herself. So I had to find a way to try to help my mother. You feel what I'm saying? But as time went on, the person that I once was, I'm not that person today. That is not who I am. I have a 3-year-old son. I have an 18-year-old daughter that graduated yesterday, supposed to be. At the end of the day, that people don't understand that they see that I'm armed and dangerous. I have a heart. People that know me know that at the end of the day, I am a good person. So I'm asking for help from the world, from Meek Mills, Lil Wayne, Young Boy, Donald Trump. I'm asking for these people. I couldn't even get a lawyer. I couldn't even afford a lawyer to prove my innocence while I was in Orleans Parish jail. They said that I broke out. I didn't break out. I was let out. My name is Antoine Massey. The guy who said that I threatened him with a shank, the maintenance guy, how could I threaten you with a shank? If you can't come around me, you're a maintenance. You cannot come on the tills without a deputy being behind you. Because if they just let you on the till, you could be persuaded to bring drugs or anything like that nature. So how can I threaten you to jail you? And why you didn't notify the people, the police, that if I did threaten you, you never did that. Like, you flat out lied on me. Sterling flat out lied on me. And I want to let the media know that from the straight tattoos in my face and things of that nature, of course they're going to believe Sterling. You know what I'm saying? I never told Sterling nothing. I'm willing to take a lie detector test and everything behind that, but that's another subject. Orleans Parish is one of the corruptedest jails. That in St. Tammany Parish is the corruptedest jails in the state of Louisiana. Why was I even incarcerated with a woman saying that this never happened? This is this woman's name. This is the charge, domestic abuse violation. This is about the shit in St. Tammany. Why would I, in Orleans Parish, why was I even in jail? That's what I'm trying to show y'all. That's why I left the jail. And they have a lot more brothers that's innocent, just like me, that's trying to prove their innocence. That's why they ran. Jason Williams, the sheriff, Susan Hudson, these people are corrupted. These people was talking to St. Tammany and telling St. Tammany they gonna sentence me behind this, and telling St. Tammany if they can't get me, St. Tammany gonna get me. You see what I'm saying? Behind a woman that's a grown adult that never stated that I ever raped her. They have a detective that's over the case that's trying to pursue charges on me because of my prior history. Who I was in the past is not who I am today. So I'm asking for the media. I don't even have a lawyer to help me. I'm asking for help. That's why I ran. You feel me? I'm a grown man. I have kids. I have a mother. I have a baby mother, a child, my children mother. Like it's a lot going on. And that's why I ran. I need help. You feel what I'm saying? Orleans Parish in St. Tammany is one of the corruptest parishes in the world. And I'm asking for help. There's a lot of corruption, killings, all type of stuff going on, and they covering it up.
And so right there, that's what struck my interest, Richard, because whether he was guilty or innocent, for him to have been sentenced to 30 months in prison, he just did 14 years. Why would he put the whole world in his life by escaping to just be found, just be telling a lie? It's something up under these waters that's telling me it's a hidden jewel, and we need to shake the grounds up, because he stepped out. To me, the Lord gave him an outlet to step out and show people what's really going on for what it's worth. And I see what they're doing. They're pushing it under the rug, because think about the other young man that's out there. This man is out there for murders, and they have not put any coverage on him. They only put coverage on Anton Massey. Why? Why was the coverage? Why? Because he did something no other did before. He stepped out. He made a video. He blasted it. It went viral. So, of course, they want him back in there. But if he's sitting in there for no reason, why? Why have not even the family members? So you got to watch my videos, because I don't care about the family. I'm looking for his best interest, whether he's guilty or not. At the end of the day, no one asks, is those people, are those paperwork legal? If that's legal documents, why aren't they produced yet? Where are they? Like, I know he's back in now. It's just so much to the story, and I'm skipping to the end because I know we're going to have time to actually talk about it again. And I know I was late, and I apologize. I thought a different time zone for me. But is something that I feel like we should truly look into and rally for, because I think it's more than Antoine. It's a lot of them in there that shouldn't be in there, and I'm here for it. And the reason why I'm honing in on that prison, because that prison honed in on me. That prison honed in on my intuition by saying, wait a minute, this man put his whole life and his family on the line to tell a lie over 30 months, and he got a lot of time served because he been in there. What's really going on?
Definitely. Yeah, I went down there actually while he was still on the run, and I was talking to some people from the town, and they they was talking about some intricate stuff, about, well, yeah, we know, everybody know he was let out, and they was talking about, like, they was naming names in the jail who had quit and had been fired because of that, and people, like even like they said the hole that they supposed that slate run was like too perfectly cut, like, so there was a lot of stuff that that when I heard them, of course, I believe, because I've been in jail, and I just know how it goes. Like he said, I was let out, I didn't escape, and I can believe that, what I'm saying, and whatever reason they was let out, maybe it was to get the people fired or whoever, but I didn't really follow that case because everybody else was following it, and I just wanted to see what would come of it. But then when I got down to New Orleans, I just said, okay, this is just regular old corruption that that goes on in the jail and in the city politics and things like that. But yeah, a lot of people mention how corrupt the courts and the jail is in New Orleans. Like I said, they got parishes, what I'm saying? So that what they said, the New Orleans is just totally different when it comes to the police and things like that. So,
and for me, you know what? Some people say, oh, you can't change the prison. You can't this, but you can change the prison. You could change the prison by helping one person at a time. And the one person right now in the prison system, because nobody else came to me for me to help advocate. But I know once I put the boots on the ground in that area, then people will start coming, and then we can kind of start supporting a little bit better. But I just feel like at this point, all I'm looking to see is if that paperwork that he have is legal, then why is he in there? That's my question now that he's made it in safe and he's alive. And I want to get more involved in it because I hear no one asking about that paperwork. He got one of the biggest Bibles in his hand that can hold. That's the key to his life right now. Why aren't they talking about that? That's where I'm at right now. I want to know, what is it that if the district attorney received those paperwork, they signed it, notarized it, everything. Why is he still sitting in there? That's what no one is addressing. But I feel like a lot of people, even the ones that disagree that he broke out and whatever, I feel like they should give him a round of applause because what he did as a black man, as a convict with a record, tattoos all over his face. Anybody that stepped into the Orleans Parish jail, y'all need to tell Anton Massey thank you. You know why? Because at least he getting the walls cleaned up around there. At least he did that. Now the government is putting money in there. And for all of those taxpayers over there, see, it's deeper than just that. If y'all paying taxpayer money and y'all the one building those jails, where y'all money going at if the jails look like slum laws? Where's the money going? So the pot thickens for me. It thickens because that's the largest state in the world for incarceration. Why? They're getting kickbacks? They're getting kickbacks between there and Alabama with Angola jail, with Angola prison, which is sitting on a plantation. They specifically put Angola prison on a plantation for blacks. And it's bigger than that. And I want to know, why is it so many people sleep over there? I'm curious. It's something that keep striking my interest, and I can't let it go.
It's sort of like when you are in the midst of something, though, you know what I'm saying, and you can't see it until you get out of it. Like, it's sort of like, okay, just like Harriet Tubman said, I would have freed a lot more people if they would have knew they were slaves. So when you grow up in an environment, when you grow up in that system, you don't see it because that's all you've known until somebody can look at it from the outside and like, yo, so. That's part of it where, and I noticed that a lot of places I go when I'm doing advocacy, like, people will be just used to it. because that's the way it is. Like when I was in Cincinnati, we was talking about the police. But the police are, they do this, they do that, they do that. But it ain't as bad as it seems. But,
right.
Because, you know what I'm saying? And then you have people who are afraid of certain things. So, that's one thing about, sharing stories so we can see that, things are pretty much the same everywhere. But I can't see the similarities between Goldsboro, North Carolina, and Chicago unless I go there. You know what I'm saying? They can't see it unless we go there, and then we'll be able to, kind of mobilize as DJ was saying, through similar interests. So, but like I told you, DJ, I do got to go because that's my other call. I had to go at 2, but I definitely appreciate you for having me. We definitely got to do this. Again, thank you as always, DJ, for bringing me on, and I thank you as well, Queen. This is my first time interacting with you, and also thank everybody in the chat. I think they're going to be on a little bit longer, but I definitely appreciate you for the opportunity once again, DJ.
I appreciate
it. Yes.
All right, I'll talk with you later.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Well, I guess we can come
back.
No,
we have to wrap it up. I was on the phone. I'm just trying to get some stuff done with somebody else too. Listen, I'm passionate. Okay, you told me to be the villain. You know what I'm saying? You said don't hold back, and I'm like, okay, but when I start really unleashing it, like so please don't take it the wrong way. I'm a passionate person. When I get a little bit passionate, it kind of comes off and I'm misunderstood. I'm totally here, and I'm hoping that Baba Shaka is going to come up next because he actually was a prisoner in Angola, and I'm waiting on him to come up. I've been trying to put this whole thing together so we can really get an idea of how serious this situation is in Angola. That he then went from being at a regular jail to now he's in one of the worst prisons.
Angola. Because he already was sentenced to 30 months on something that the lady already signed off that he didn't do. And then they brought up more charges and the lady signed off again on something that he didn't do. So now when they took him back in, he's not sentenced on one part, but on the other one he is. So they sent him back to Angola, I guess, to finish out everything. Plus now that he's in high security because of the escape is why he's back in Angola.
Yeah, that's a really sad situation. So do you know anything? Is there any updates in his situation? Has anybody reached out to his family or anything like that or anything?
Well, there's no updates with anything. I'm just waiting to see when it is his next court date. And what I normally do is I normally have been calling the jail at the prison every day just to make sure that he's okay, making sure that he's alive. And they don't give you anything. They just let you know that he's in there. They give you the DC number if you need it. And that's the end of it. There's no update other than the auntie who's going around talking to every news station that she could talk to and just really not helping him. But to me, she's hurting him because of the things that she's saying about him. So I personally, if I reach out to the family, I know it's going to be a back and forth because I'm not going to back down, which I would. If anybody know any family members, I would definitely like to speak to any of them. I do. I speak on Anton Massey 3 days out the week. He's on Monday. Actually, Anton Massey is on Sunday and Wednesdays for me when I speak on him, and in a lot of Saturdays as well, because I'm gonna follow his story all the way up until the day he get out, and then I can help bring others out as well. So
what about, isn't there another person that is actually still like escaped? He hasn't been caught yet.
Yeah, there's another young man that's also actually out on the run, but he's out on the run and he's a murderer. He's out for murdering. I didn't get into his case because I got so locked in Anton Massey, but it did kind of concern me that why is it that we are so focused on Anton Massey and this guy is out for murder? Like really, he's the one where you really want to be aware of and look out for, and no focus is on him. And now that they have Anton Massey, you really don't see anything in the news coverage right now. And that was kind of peculiar to me. Like you focused on Anton Massey, but you're not focused on a killer. They're not focused on him. They were only focused on Anton because he released that video. And they don't know, to me, that video was incriminating evidence in my eyes.
Incriminating evidence for him or for the actual prison system that's up there?
Well, when the information that he have in the video that's posted, that information basically is saying what he's going through in that jail. He's basically saying how he's being treated. He's saying that he's the point for me. He's sitting there and he's not supposed to be there.
Yes. Welcome to the stage, Baba Shaka. I interviewed you. You're a good friend of mine. I interviewed you a while back, about your situations. You actually spent time in Angola. We're talking about how Anton Massey started off in one prison, and now because he escaped, now he's put in one of the worst situations. Can you give us an idea of the Angola prison and how it is and how terrible it is?
Okay, well, Angola was originally a slave plantation. Still to this day, if you know anybody that's in Angola, you're basically a slave. I mean, we pick cotton. There's usually a white man on a horse with a gun. Everybody prefers to him as boss man, whatever, and the conditions are horrible. I mean, we would walk 15 miles out to a destination. We would probably work for maybe an hour, and then have to walk the 15 miles back to the plantation. I mean, back to the prison, which is the plantation. It's 18,000 acres, if I'm not mistaken, because it's been a long time since I've been there. I discharged out of there in 1993. I was 23 years old. I went there very, very young. Actually, I may have been one of the youngest people in Angola back in those days. Um, it's horrible. I was explaining to Monica in the interview that she did with me. I talked about a place called Camp J, and Camp J is it's solitary confinement, but it's a spirit breaking place. That's where they send a lot of the old revolutionaries that were in Angola. They came out of New Orleans. Um, they would put them back. They left them back there. They would never put them in population because of their influence. So they put them back there. It's a lot of mental health people in those conditions because of um, how can I explain it? A lot of mental health people that maybe should be in a hospital. So imagine you mixing your extreme mental health people with regular people. Um, it's not a good mix. And they do that on purpose. And that's definitely why all those guys are sent to Camp J. They're going to be in Camp J for at least, they're going to be in Camp J for as long as they're on the farm. They're never going to hit the population.
Do you think he's going to be put into Camp J? Because
He's in Camp J as we speak. I mean, when they say that they fly him to Angola, he's just going to go to a place called CCR. That's where the Angola 3 to the Angola 6. Anytime you do any research, Gary Tyler, anybody, that would be like, that's a supermax kind of, right? They'll never get a chance to escape again.
Right.
Wow. Can you explain some of the things that happened? Because I know you went to solitary.
That's what I'm talking about, Camp J.
Remember you told me that you have this time and you have to run past people and all kind of wild stuff. Could you go over like some of the things that happened in solitary there? So people
legally, you're allowed 23 hours. You allow 23 hours. It's 23 hours on lockdown, and you're allowed an hour to come out and take a shower. So you got an hour to work out, do whatever, and then get in the shower before they close you have an hour out. So because of the mental health, the people that they can't control. And half of the time, it's the people that the people they can't control, they put over there, right? So they're putting all these people back there that they can't control, and most of them are mental health. They're throwing feces. They make zip guns. They hold their feces with milk and all this other stuff for weeks, long time, and they use that as guns to spray either the officers or you. It depends on, because you're on a range. It depends on the relationship. If you got a relationship with some of them, um, it's terrible.
Hey, how do they
It's
make
it.
a gun out of it? How do they make a gun?
Well,
I
I
got
don't. I'm not into making guns, so I don't really know how they make them. But they make them. They make darts. You could take a vanilla envelope and roll it up.
you keep
You know,
rolling
yeah, you could roll it up, and then you could take your toothpaste as your glue. They're very creative.
things
So
to
you
do.
know how the bamboo in Asia, in Vietnam, they make these darts. And they take a paper clip. They take any type of stuff off of their legal work, and they could file it down until it's to a point, and they could glue it. Take the string from their blankets and sew it like a spear, and they could put it inside the feces that they didn't save for Lord knows how long, or whatever, and they could shoot it out at you and puncture you in the eye, temple, anywhere. It's a lot of stuff. It's back. Camp J is a spirit breaking camp. It's not where. Actually, let me stop. I mean, so I could. I don't want to say the wrong. But if I'm not mistaken, you know how people say, "Oh yeah, Boosie, was in protected custody." No, Boosie wasn't in protected custody. What Boosie was like a trustee at Camp J. He wasn't in the cell block. So those are the people who get the food ready for them. Some of those people back in Camp J don't even get regular food. They get loaves. They get something that's called a loaf. That
Wow.
way, you know, they get that type of stuff. I mean, Camp J is the worst of the worst. Um I've been in I've been in federal prison. I was in Lompoc, California, which is a maximum security prison, Atwater, which is the maximum security prison, Lewisburg, Leavenworth, you name it, Beaumont, but Angola, Camp J is something. It's inhumane. Um, I hate to say that they're animals, but they're very animalistic. Um, yeah, I wouldn't wish that on my enemy.
You know what? I know that that I probably don't have time, but I definitely would like to speak to you a little bit more if you don't mind, because I'm heavily into it, and I'm actually planning on going over, because I feel that personal attachment to Anton Massey at this time, because I
Okay,
feel it's way bigger than him, and
it
something
is.
my spirit tells me that it's bigger than him, and we need to connect New Orleans to it too. And I don't know what it is where I'm attached to it. Like, it's something that need to be spoken. And if we can chip at something, because one of the biggest thing that it honestly got me so disgusted on the inside is to hear that they got the galls to take a prison, and the worst one in the world, and put it on top of a plantation. Do you know what type of insult to that? Just that's so insulting to me on so many levels, until I don't even want to go that deep down into my emotions, and let alone to know that our men, especially our men, they get inside these prisons and all their creativity come out because they got a massa, like
Mm,
literally enslaving them. Not to say the behavior or what got you there wasn't wrong and you got to pay the cost, but not when you paying the cost, and it's a cost reflecting on us as Black people. That reflects on us to set a prison system on top of a plantation. That to me, it sends. When I found that out, that gave me cringes. When I looked at Anton Messi, I said, I honestly don't care if he was guilty or innocent. For the amount of months they said he had, I can't see him risking his whole soul for that little bit of months left. Tell
Mm-hmm.
me about that. Because from my understanding, he only had 30 months. Why would he put the whole nation on his head, his whole life? And when I looked at his charges, I seen that from, unless it wasn't all there, and I'm gonna pull it again before I get there. It looks like the last time they had charges on him was in 2017. And then it
Mm-hmm.
started up again in like 2023 or 2024. So I'm more concerned about this than ever. And I just feel if he did it, if there's a reason for him to be in there, I feel like now that everything has come to light, they owe us as the people the right, that they owe us the truth as to, is he in there because he's supposed to be there? And if he's supposed to be there, I can let it go. But I would want to talk to him because something isn't right. Nobody, why do you think nobody is questioning that paperwork? If he say he's in there for no reason and he got 2 sets of paperwork and it looks like it come from the DA, why is no one questioning that paperwork?
So what they're gonna do is they're gonna give him what they call um let me think. It's called Thursday. It's called it's slipping my mind. But what they're gonna do is keep they're gonna keep transferring him, moving him around.
Right.
There, no one can actually
I'm gonna catch
interview
their
him
ass.
or contact him.
I'm gonna catch him. I knew it.
That's what that it's called.
Just moving his
Uh,
ass around because they think they
it's
slick.
like a jet fuel therapy. That's what they call it.
Wait, so tell
See
me
what
again.
it it's a nickname that we call, it's like jet fuel therapy. When they put you on jet fuel therapy,
They
that
wearing you
means that
out and people too.
that means that they're moving you. Imagine them moving the slaves where the slaves are never able to get comfortable,
Right.
to get mail, to make phone calls,
Okay.
you'll never be able to get comfortable.
So what?
Where so much where they could come, attorneys could come interview you. They know that there are people that want to support him. People, they have these I'm sure the place in Loyola, the Loyola Law people, there are people that's gonna jump on this to support him. But what they're gonna do is they're gonna move him around. He's gonna be so imbalanced to whereas when he do come to surface, it's gonna be like him. He's been in a hole, a
Yeah.
real hole, not a hole like
What you
the
mean?
hole, like a hole like they had Saddam Hussein in. Like when he comes up, he he's gonna be disoriented.
But you want me to tell you something? I'm gonna when I tell y'all don't know me very well. I say thank you, Lord, for making sure that I'm protected and well protected and versed in it too, and got some good guidance, man. When you get guided by your spiritual side, man, people just don't know. And that's where you sometimes you got to go there and find yourself. And one thing I could tell you about Anton Massey, when he come home, he gonna be a whole nother person, and he gonna know how to stand up and he gonna fight, and he need to reach back because I'm gonna make sure he reach back and I'm gonna make sure he help some of those men that's not supposed to be in there. Because I'm looking at this and I'm telling you, to me, in a sense, because I got some watchful eyes, but I got watchful eyes and I got watchful hands, and I know I'm blessed for the job. And I think, in a sense, I kind of appreciate them moving him. You know why? Because now that I hear how bad that particular prison is, it'll give him a break on the inside. Move them. You got to look at it from the other side, because you're telling, from what I hear, it's the worst prison in the world. And I honestly, I'm gonna visit that prison. I want to visit it because I want to see this plantation, because I'm not happy with it. But I could tell you, if moving him around is gonna save him for what hardship that can really come to him in that particular prison, I'd rather see him move, because I'm not going nowhere. And it's gonna be hard for them to take me from here.
Yeah, I could plug you in with a
Please.
few people who are they're like penal. There's his brother by the name of T Win
Okay.
here locally that goes down there a lot. I have a lot of friends who sometimes call me, but T Win is actively a prison reform activist,
I need to talk.
He goes down there. I could give Monica his information to call him. He's on Facebook. T Win is on Facebook. Well, I can't click over, but yeah, he's on Facebook. T Win. I could send that to her.
Yeah.
Once you reach out to him, he'll give you. He's came out with all types of books. He's traveled. Um, as an advocate for people in prison and just what's going on with the plantation. It's not they didn't sit it on a plantation. What
Yeah.
they did was they turned a plantation
To the prison.
into the prison, but it still was a plantation.
That's
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
I
Like it
got
still was the plant. It still was the plantation.
you have to
They
social
just started sending prisoners to the plantation.
and
Is
you
it
know
is it true that there's like no air conditioning? It's just hot. Like if you're hot, that's it. Like you're just hot.
No,
no, they
that's
can't
not.
just get heat, man.
That ain't true. That I mean,
Okay.
it's modern. I mean, because it's updated. It's updated or whatever. But it's just the from a psychological standpoint,
Yeah.
and Angola, which I knew he was gonna. I knew what they was gonna do. They're gonna send him to Camp J because he's had so many escapes. He would never see regular prison where he could go into a law library. He could
Yes.
go into a law library. He could. He could go out and get some air, play football, basketball, do anything like that.
Yeah.
He's never gonna have a physical contact, a contact visit. It's gonna be behind something.
Yeah.
They're gonna, yeah. The-
How long did you spend in Camp Jake?
I was in Camp J for 2 years, 20 months.
Jesus Christ. So they put a person in that situation like that with people you have to run past, or they're gonna shoot you with an arrow. You gotta run past them because you don't know who's gonna be crazy, shoot you, throw some poop on you, whatever. You gotta, and that's you only get like that
That's
little
the
small bit of time.
that's the life of Camp J. If you ever go to Camp J, it's for like people who um
High risk.
Nat Turner would go to Camp J.
Oh, Nat Turner.
Oh,
Somebody like Nat Turner would go to Camp J. Listen, some of your most, and this is one of the stories I tell because it's real. Some of your most dangerous prisoners never go to Camp J.
and that, I mean, it makes you wonder why.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, some of the most dangerous, gang banged, thugged out people that's in Angola never go to Camp J. Camp J is to break you, to break your thinking.
And you said that they used to make you take psychological tests just because of
Yeah,
what
they
your
it's
power.
it's to break your. They trying to break your thinking. They trying to break you. It's a yeah. Yeah, that some people never. Some people have been in camp in Angola for 30 years and never got sent to Camp J.
Mm, wow.
If you go look at some of the most horrific rapes and things in the state of Louisiana, never went to Camp J. They send people to Camp J who, if you organize a a protest or say, hey man, they had brothers who are Muslim who said, man, listen, um, they trying to make us build a injection table or injection room to kill y'all, and we're not gonna do it. We want y'all to stop working. We want y'all to stop working because we're gonna
Yeah.
shut them down. Once we shut them down, then they'll come and they could talk to us as men about what we want and what we demand. And do you realize that those people
Yeah.
will not stop working?
Yep.
They're gonna do what the master say to do.
Right. They trained at that point because they want to
You see
be
what I'm saying?
alive.
So the people that they send to camp, Massey is a person. They realize it. Like when I told the story of,
He
I
ain't
was in,
crazy.
I was in a place where they were sending me to these doctors, these psychiatrists, because, and I asked the intern like, why am I here? Why am I in here? Why y'all? And she said, well, look, she went to Duke University. She may see this. She said, I'm gonna find out and I'm gonna call you back in here and I'm gonna tell you. And when she called me back, she say, they want to know your thinking pattern on why you was robbing these white people's banks.
Like you go.
Now listen, so the people in Angola, they are killers, rapers,
Right.
they're everything. Right? So but it's certain things they don't want you to do. They don't want you to be a Kunta Kinte. They don't want you running out the slave because that could, if everybody decide that they're gonna run, what would happen?
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is what I'm saying. So the places they send all of them is going to be in Camp J. They're not going to be maybe on the same ranges, and some of them may be on the same range, but they're going to have them spread it out throughout Camp J. In that whole situation, in some of those situations, it's going to be so bad that some of them may
Oh.
some of them may break to the point of telling exactly what happened. They're going to break them. See, some of those people may not been. You got to realize some of those people that ran that was let out because they didn't break out. They were let out. Listen, if you when I seen the whole, you got to realize some of those guys was like, I think Groves was like 6'2" or 6'3", maybe 170, maybe 100, maybe 160 pounds. You can't go through that no little hole. Like I've seen that hole before. When they come and do that work
Right.
to fix it, they open it up. We can't get through it because they got bars through there.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? You talking about they cut? No, no. It was impossible. They got the supervisor, the one person that was over maintenance. He doesn't work there. He retired. He says mathematically impossible. So and then again, listen to this. When you see them on the camera, they're always rushing out of together.
Right. And he was walking. If you
So
look
so so if they were rushing out, if they were leaving out together, if we was going out a hole, I'm gonna go. I gotta go. I can't take a chance of waiting on y'all to squeeze your big ass head through them damn bars. I gotta get up out of there. They're like, we all gonna. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I knew that whole little situation. Something's wrong with that situation. New Orleans is a very different place.
is it a lot of, do you feel like it's evil or something over there? It's something in
No,
my
no, no. It's not that it's evil.
like
It's it's
I don't
it,
know.
it's not that it's evil because when I go,
Uh-huh.
it's you feel that you feel the ancestors in New Orleans.
That's what I mean, like
So
it's
it's
some
not evil. It's not evil.
I
But
mean
when you go
wicked,
to
like
New Orleans, you're gonna feel it. See, some
yeah,
people may not know it because they don't know what they're feeling. You don't really understand what you're feeling until you really know what it is that you're feeling,
right. That's what I think it
right?
is. I
So
think I
so
feel
so but
something like
but but the thing about it is it's small, right?
yeah,
Um it has a Mayberry vibe. It could have a Mayberry vibe in being small, meaning that we're gonna handle our own, and we're gonna handle our stuff right here. Yeah, like you know,
You know what I was going to say real quick is that also do you know that a lot of like towns in Louisiana were like were black owned by black people,
uh-huh.
like the actual
oh
towns were owned by black people. So I think that's then people came in with militias and different things and like kind of took them over. So it's almost like a certain type of energy to that, like ownership. These people were not. Those slaves were. They owned their land. They were not slaves like that. They had their own like land, and they had their own towns. So it's almost like going into Tulsa, Oklahoma during going to Black Wall Street and getting those people that are used to having their own society with doctors and all this other thing. So they've seen a functioning black community that was 100% run by black people.
I think for me, I think when I say I felt
There-
like not wicked, but I feel like it's when I say evil, I mean, I guess where I'm trying to come from, it seemed like there's a lot of lost spirits there that's trying to say that something need to come out, the truth, it's something there that make me feel like it's a lot of negative spirits there, but those negative spirits there to me make me feel like they're trying to tell a story and nobody's listening. That's how I feel, if that make any sense. It seemed like it's a lot went on there, and it's a lot that was taken from a lot of the black people from there, and look like they, I don't know. I'm gonna do a lot more history on it, and I definitely appreciate you talking about it, because that Angola jail or prison, I don't feel it should be sitting where it's at. I feel like, and I don't understand, why is there not more news coverage on there? Just because of the fact that it's sitting on a plantation. That's a lot. That means so
There's a
much.
lot of information. If you pull up one thing that you spoke of, there's a lot of information on New Orleans, the blacks, and the Native Indians. That's a lot of things.
I was gonna
Then you
bring
go
that
up
up. The
into
Washita Moors and the
yeah,
mounds. Like
and
these are
then
the
you
oldest
and
mounds and pyramids on the
then you go then
before
you
the.
go into a lot of the Haitians, a lot of the slaves they came through, they had the auction blocks there, dealing with voodoo and Santeria, and the Catholic catechisms, and there's a lot. It's a lot mixed up there. It's a lot mixed up there. I get what you're saying. If there's a porter, I think that there is a porter. I think there's a porter. I think it has something to do with unrest ancestors. Uh, I think it has something to do with that. I spend a lot of time in some of the graveyards, the cemeteries there. When I go, I'm drawn to it. So I get what you're saying. But New Orleans is like its own little clique. Yeah,
That's it.
that's the word. That's the word I'm looking for.
You know why I can agree with that? Because I'm initially from Charleston, South Carolina. And so,
Okay.
we come with that same island background, but my island
Yeah.
background is on the Bahama side of it. And
So you're around Charleston and Beaufort.
well, I live in Florida right now, but I'm born and raised Charleston, South Carolina. Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Charleston.
yeah.
So you've heard all of
Okay,
them.
so that's what I'm talking about. And New Orleans is like a Charleston.
Right.
So we gonna keep everybody out our business.
That's
You
what
know.
and so when I think about it, so my grandmother passed away when she was 91 years old. And one thing I can tell you is it's a lot of hidden secrets in a lot of those islands that are in Charleston, that's around the Charleston area. So it's not just Charleston, it's all the surrounding islands. And what people don't know is made up of about 100 and something islands. So I feel there's some sort of connection in these states, because it's a lot of not evil, but it's a lot of hurt spirits to me that are even still not just on the
Traps.
Charleston side, but throughout South Carolina as well. And
Mm-hmm.
it's something, I don't know what it is, but
I've heard stories of vampires. I've heard some stories. I mean, I come from more of a Ifa, Yoruba background, but I've heard those stories about vampires. Yeah, vampires and things of that nature. Um, if that exists, but I do know that there is a certain type of energy.
there
I
you go.
keep, I keep when I go, I'm with it.
Yes.
I'm with it. I go to Congo Square, where the slaves used to go back. They said that when the slaves, they could only go to Congo Square on Sundays.
See what this is? This is my
Uh
blunt.
huh.
This is my blunt sage.
Yeah, that's right.
My blunt sage. I keep it saged up around here, baby. I say you got to sage the room, because
You
listen,
better.
I always come in peace, but I come with what I said. God damn it, is what I meant, and so I have to stay saged up to make sure we stay woosawed out, because there's something over there, and I definitely wish that I can talk to you a little bit more, because again, I talk about this 2 or 3 times a week, and I can't give it up. And I'm also preparing to even go over there, because I want to get more connected to Anton Massey, because I'm pretty sure they're not allowing him to speak to anybody or anything like that.
No,
And I got
no.
to find a way. I'm gonna find a way where he can understand that I'm out here and I got him, baby. I'm not going nowhere. Even when the family threw him over there, I got him because whatever he did, with all the lies that people saying, it's some truth around the corner somewhere. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
looking for the truth. Damn the lie. Everybody gonna tell a lie. But where is the truth that in the lie? And in all the truth, tell me where the lie at, because I'm gonna get to the bottom of it.
So listen, we have another show. Speaking of Ifa, we have uh, uh, brother Umar Johnson's daughter coming on in about 15 minutes. So we're gonna kind of if for people that are on Taylor House Publishing website, shouts out, thank you Taylor House for allowing us to being a part of this thing and bringing up this whole thing. Taylor House Publishing, they all he covers is police brutality and things in the community when it comes down to policing, you know. And I'm really thankful for his platform, and because we really want to bring light onto this things that are happening. You know, I have done a lot of spiritual things on my page, but I'm starting to like take a pivot and really get into law, crime, and the issues that are really affecting us because, you know, we can't really, you know, it's just one thing to do the spirit, but if we're getting attacked on a regular basis, we have to like also deal with things from a grassroots level and really start to like come together and really talk about the things that are happening in our community, you know, because you know, it's being swept up underneath the rug, and you'll be popular 1 minute, you know, everybody's talking about you. The next minute, you know, people forget about you. The next story comes, and everybody forgets. You know, like we haven't I haven't heard anything about Roy Hinton in a while. And I know I'm not sure who knows. I don't even know what's happened. But if you go to his platform, Taylor House Publishing, he always makes sure that people are kept abreast of what's going on. He does not let these people's light dim when they get in these situations. You know, so please continue to support this brother's channel. This is his channel right here, and I'm going to be doing what I can from a law and order, like a legal perspective, working with Calvin Johnson, attorney Calvin Johnson, and probably other attorneys, and trying to like allow us to like know how to deal with the legal system so we don't get caught up in these situations. And so we're going to be doing more and more shows like this where we're just as these laws and stuff get tighter on us, we need to know how to combat it. You know, so that's going to be like
He
kind of the new
he's.
direction.
I want to say something before you go. He's definitely going to need some type of support group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I think one of the things that somebody should have did was they need to get control of his narrative for his story
That's why
before people start
telling it.
trying to tell his
Yeah.
story. They want to know. They're going to be want to know what was he doing, and he needs to keep that under
Locked.
cuff, you
Locked.
know, away from people because they want to tell. They could tell the whole. They could tell about the break, but they can't tell. He has his own unique story. Him and
Right.
Groves. So
That's right.
somebody, a support group or something. What happens in these situations is, you know, after about 90 days or 6 months, people forget about this situation,
Yep.
and it's bad for them because after this, you know, we get to talking about something else that's going on. They're lost in the sauce down there. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, if he could get a support group in which, you know, they could keep, you know, he's gonna need books
Yeah.
back there. He's gonna need magazines back there. He's gonna need those things because, you know, being in that microcosm in a room, nah, he's gonna need those things. So I really salute you, sister, for, you know, stepping forward. I'm gonna link you up with this brother.
Right.
Um, his name is, like I said, T Win, and he's more active in that
Yeah.
situation. I I've watched it. I watched it from afar. You
You
know, and
you seen it. You got to go on my channel. If you will, DJ, would you drop my link there? Because yes, I do. Again, I got to reiterate. This is on. If I could show you, I have my work schedule, and this is just a part of it. And his
mhm.
Anton Massey and Carmelo Anthony, they sits on the head. I do. I make sure that voice. It's only so far I could go with Carmelo Anthony. but I'm gonna rock with him until we get to the bitter end of this and we get to the last day of it. I'm gonna fight. So white people, when y'all come for me, y'all already know how I am. I'm gonna put the hatchet on your ass when you come at me the wrong way. Because listen, they tell me that I'm Nick.
She
They
said she
say
gonna come with the hatchet.
I'm gonna
You
put the
coming with the Shane Gold. You
listen,
coming with the axe on.
listen, I'm gonna put a guy on your ass. You come at me the wrong way. Go look at my videos over there. I'm not the one for it. I get very nitpicky because when you're trying to defend our black man, you need to be nitpicky, goddamn it, because y'all wasn't nitpicky when you put him in there. So when you put him in there, it's my job to clean up your dirt. And I got Antoine Massey to the end. I don't give a damn what his sister, his auntie say. I feel like you messed up the case, auntie. And I know you're gonna see this, and I want you to come for me. But you need to keep your goddamn mouth closed because you hurting him and you're not helping him. And whoever out there on behalf of hashtag Anton Massey, I do this 3 days a week. That's Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. And I look forward to starting this group because I've already started within me. Anybody want to join me? If you will drop my link in the chat, I definitely will.
Could you put it in the back so I can type it in?
Hey, Addie Bug, if Addie Bug is out there, would you drop my link in the back chat for
Back
me?
chat. Thank
At
you.
the end of the day, I'm not giving up on this. I want you to understand I'm more than passionate about it. If you go over to my channel, you'll see my videos over there. And hey, listen, anybody that come around and y'all got something negative to say, I'm here for it. But make sure you back it up the right way when you talk to me, because I don't let things go under the rug just like that. I'm not a self-defense attorney. I'm a huge advocate within me. And it don't matter your color. You can be black, white. For me, it's what's about right. In the cases that I'm on right now, they happen to be black, and I'm not moving back off of it. And that don't make me racist for anybody out there that know it. I got biracial family members,
In the car.
and that's the end of it. But I'm fighting hard for him. So I need you to rock with me too. I need you to rock with me, Shaba. I need you not to go on me. I need you to help me, because if you could help me, and I at least get the right people, we definitely can not just help him. We can help a lot of other people that might be in there innocently or whatever it is they got going on. I want to bring it down, especially that prison. Especially that prison.
Well, she is a true daughter of Oshun. She is not playing
No, I'm
about
not.
these,
Mm-hmm.
and we have. Listen, I think we got Oya here, we got Oshun, we got Shango here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? All we need is Ogun and Eshu, and we're gonna be able to make a change, honey.
And what I got mostly, I got a spiritual heart, not religion.
Right.
And I run from the spiritual side of my heart. And long as I set them to the head of my heart, everything else gonna fall into place. I'm a strong woman. I'm an only girl raised by all men. I'm the shortest one in the family at 6'2". My daddy is 6'7" or 6'8", basketball player. So don't think I'm the weakest one on the goddamn court. I set like a center.
Mm-hmm.
I was a center in 2 forwards, but I'm ready for the fight. Thank you, Bob. I definitely appreciate you coming in. Thank you for spending the time. Thank you, everybody else out there in the chat. Thank you so much, DJ Addy Bug. Definitely appreciate you for that. And just understand, this is not the last. We'll be meeting and greeting over here. Again, I do have my channel as well, but when we get ready to do shows like this, definitely want to come back to you.
Addie wanted to say something real quick. I'll let her say a word. Go ahead, Addie.
I just want to say one thing. It's very clear that people are now they're repeating history, and as sad as it is, that's what the economy is coming to. They're gonna keep repeating history because they think that they have all the power, but backlash is gonna happen, and justice will be served one way or another.
That's right, Addy Bug.
And also, I just want to also say something. The fact that there's a prison, I said it in the chat a lot. The fact that there's a prison like that exists is horrible. The fact, because people, I mean, you have hundreds and hundreds of historical people who fought for their lives for,
Yes.
darker skinned, dark, y'all know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
For them to have their freedom and to, have their rights. And now we have people like this that are just trying or destroying that, when in reality, these people deserve the same. They've done nothing wrong. They fought and fought and fought. And this is, by the way, this is also coming from a white person. This is me speaking my truth. This is how I feel. It's bullcrap.
Yep.
So
And
that's all I gotta say.
We appreciate you, Addy Bug. Stand in your truth.
Okay.
That's
Well, listen, I'm about to end this live. We're about to start the other one. I just put my this is my page if you guys want to check out Dr. Umar Johnson's daughter. She's going to be discussing, her current situation. She's been going through some hardships and things like that, and we want to show her some support as well. We support the men, we support the women. We're all about supporting and helping in the community. So, listen, and I just want to tell you, Queen, listen, I love you, girl.
Yes, girl.
And listen, and hey, so don't take it. Ain't nothing. It ain't nothing. It's a
Girl, did you now you know good well. Listen, one thing they gonna know about me when I'm talking serious business, y'all know you gonna learn. I shut everybody out when it's serious business. I get caught just like that. And when we go to
no love lost here, y'all. Like just even like if y'all hear this early, if y'all coming in late, if you go back and see here that we going at each other, this is like two sisters arguing with each other. And getting heat. That's all, but it ain't no love lost. We still love each other. We still friends. Don't take it personal. And sometimes we both get passionate about our sides of what we're trying to say. But the message is we're trying to always convey a message, and it really at the end of the day, it all comes together. And this was a beautiful live, and I really appreciate all the work that we just did, and I hope that we're going to be moving forward on that. Thank you guys so much. This is Alchemizing Energy. I am DJ Genesis Detroit. Shouts out to Taylor House Publishing, Richard Taylor, and his platform. I hope to see you guys over there. Much love. Peace.